Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today is day 5 of our top interview 150 from LeetCode, and the question that we will be solving today is majority element. And this is an easy level question. In this question we have been given an array which is having a size n, and what we need to do here is we need to return the majority element. Now the question comes, what is a majority element? Here the majority element is the element which is occurring more than n by 2 times. Okay, so let's say like we have been given here an array 3 2 3. Okay, the length of this array is 3, and if a value to occur more than n by 2 times, it should be occurring about 2 times or 3 times, right? So here how many times 3 is occurring? It is occurring 2 times, and 2 is occurring only 1 time. So 3 is our majority element here. Now let's see the second example. We have 2 which is occurring 4 times, and we have 1 which is occurring 3 times. Now the length of our array is 7. What is 7 divided by 2? We will get 3.5. Now the value that we should get to assign a majority element should be greater than 3.5, which is in the numerical value or integer value should be 4, right? Here we have 2 which has value as 4, so we will return 2 as the answer. Okay, so here what we need to do? We need to return the majority element, and that will be occurring more than n by 2 times. Also we have been told that we can assume that the majority element always exists in the array. Okay, so we can assume that there is always a majority element in the array. Now let's move forward and see the approach of this question. The brute force approach that comes to our mind will be like the easiest approach that comes to our mind is what we can do here. Since we have number of frequent occurrences of the integer, so we can take a hash map or dictionary, and what we can do, we can simply count the frequency and store it, right? Count the frequency of elements and store it. After that what we can do, we can simply iterate on that keys and get the value which is greater than n by 2, right? Let's see with an example. Here we have 1, okay, we will be using the upper example only, so 2 2 1 1 1 and 2 and okay, so this is our array. Now let's say I am trying to make a hash map or a dictionary. So how the value is getting stored? It will be stored with a key and a value. So the key we have here is 2, and the value that it will be storing for that is 1 2 3 and 4. So the value for key 2 is 4, and for 1 what we will store? For 1 3 will be stored, right? Now what we have to do, after storing the values key value pair in the dictionary, we will iterate on each key and we will see which value is occurring greater than n by 2 times, which means here the n was 7, right? So we will check for 2, what is the value of n by 2 here? It is 3.5, right? So we will check if whatever key here, keys value is greater than n by 2 or not. So when we will come at the key 2, we will see if the value is greater than 3.5 or not? So we will see that yes, it is greater than 3.5. So we have our candidate here. Okay, so the value that we will be returning is 2. In the same way, we will take, let's say, one more example. 3, 2 and 3. Okay, so 2 is occurring one time, 3 is occurring 2 times. So we will iterate on these keys and we will check. While iterating, we will check if the value that 2 is storing is greater than n by 2 or not. What is n here? N is equals to 3 and n by 2 we will get as 1.5, right? Now we need the value which is greater than 1.5. So this is not the right candidate, right? And then we will move to this key. We see that the value is greater than 1.5. So we have our right candidate now and we can return this key as the answer. Okay. So here, what is the time complexity that we are using? The time complexity is O of n. But here we are storing values in a map also. So for that we are using an extra space, right? Now we need to optimize this extra space. So let's move on and see that how to use solve this question in O of 1 space. Okay, and you can use here frequency array also, but frequency array will only be compatible or it will be only efficient if we have like valid amount of numbers. Like let's say the number will be lying between 1 to 1000 or 1 to 10 power 4, means if it is 10 per 4, okay, like it will become very inefficient because we will have to create those many indexes. If the constant is small, then using array, frequency array will be easy. But let's say if the constant difference is very large, then you can move on with hash map only. Okay, so the brute force approach will be either hash map or a frequency array. Frequency array when we have small constraints. Okay, now let's see the efficient approach. The efficient approach is based on the fact that the majority element will be occurring at least one time in the array. Okay, if the length of our array is 1, then it will be occurring one time, and let's say the length of our array is 3, then it will be occurring 2 times, right? So it is based on the fact that the majority element will be always in a way all greater than the other elements present in the array, right? So let's say I have this array. Now what I will do, when I am on the 0th index, I have this 2, right? And in we need to keep a count, right? Which number is occurring how many times. So we will keep a count of the number, and let's say we are keeping element for storing the majority element candidate. Okay, whichever is we are feeling that it can be a valid candidate, so we will be storing element in that. Now let's say we have element, we are initializing it with 0. Okay, now let's say on the first when we start iterating here, we see our C is equals to 0. Okay, now on the first time when C is equals to 0, so we need a value to assign into our element. So we find the first one, and till this index it is a valid candidate, right? Because we haven't moved forward. So if we are seeing that C is equals to 0, okay, when we are seeing that our C is equals to 0, then we are assigning a value to the element. So one condition is, if C is equals to 0, then we are assigning a value to the element. Now let's say we move forward. Now we see that one more 2 is there. That means if the element is becoming equal to ARR of I, then we can increase the count, because maybe this 2 can be a valid candidate for majority element, right? So what I can do here, if one condition we can check is if element is equals ARR of I, then what I can do, I can increase the count by 1, right? So I will increase the count by 1. Now we will move forward. Now we see that 1 is there, right? It is not our like till now we were having 2 as our valid candidate, but now as we move and see that we come across 1, it can be a valid candidate and it cannot be. Now there is a like 50-50 situation, right? So when we come across a number which is not equals to element, then what we can do, we can reduce the value of count by 1. Why? Because let's say if I am not finding equal, I am reducing it by 1. Okay, now what will happen, I will move here, okay, and I am reducing the count by 1. So here the count value had become 1 and now it is again becoming 0. Now when the pointer will come here, it will see that we have a new element and the count is also 0. So what will happen, element will get updated and now we will store 1 in our element. And now, so 1 is our, till now 1 can be our valid candidate, right? Because the previous value was also 1 and the coming forward value is also 1, the current value. So what we will do now, the element that now we have stored this value and we see that the element that we have, right? And after moving forward from this, we will see that again this value is increasing. We are finding that 1 is there, right? So this element will become equal to this ARR of I. So now our count will increase from 0 to 1 again. So count will again become 1 here. Now we will come to the forward index. We will move forward. We see that now again we are coming across 2. Now the count for 1 was 1 here, and till now the valid candidate or the expected important, or we can say the expected majority element candidate was 1, but now we came across 2 here, right? And as soon as we see the element which is not equals to ARR of I, then what we do, we decrease the value by 1. So we will again make it as 0. Now we will move to this index, right? So we see that again we have element which is equals to ARR of I, right? Means now first what will happen, the count will become 0 here. So in the count what will happen, element will become 2. And we will see that as we moved forward that this element and this ARR of I are equal. So again count will become 1, and therefore in this example we saw that if 2 is a majority candidate, how much we are reducing or whatever we are adding, the least value that count will store is 1, right? For whatever value is a majority element, the least value that will go for that element is 1. Let's see with one more example. Let's say we have 3, 2, 3. Okay, we will solve this clearly. Now I have I here, element here, this is I, which is the index, this is count here. Okay, so when we are on the 0th index, till now the count is 0, right? So when the count is 0, we assign an element at the whatever index we are. So here we have ARR of I as 3. So we will assign 3 here. And now what we will check? This is also 0 right now. We will check this is all this is equal or not. So this count will become 1. Right now we are at 0th index only, and ARR of I is also, means the index is same. In the previous one, I skipped this statement, means I skipped this step, therefore I am explaining it here clearly. So at this index we will increase the count by 1, right? Now our pointer will move to 2 here, right? So what will happen, here the count is not equals to 0 and this element is not equals to the element which is getting stored here. So we will go to else condition, and what is happening here, the count value is decreased by 1. So again this count will become 0, and right now we are on the first index, right? So our count is becoming 0, and what is happening, we are on the first index. Now what will happen, we will move forward. Now the index that we are on is second index, and whenever we have c is equals to 0, then what happens, we assign a value to element, right? Whatever index we are on, we assign that value to element. So what happens here, we will assign 3 here again, which is already there, and we will make it as 1, right? So this will again become 1. Now we saw that from here the count became 1, then again it decreased to 0, and again it became 1. So whenever we are finding a majority element, for that element the count, that the least count will always be 1, okay, because that value will always be occurring at least one time greater than the rest of the elements, right? So we will be returning 3 as our answer, okay. I hope this is clear to all, okay. In case you have doubt with this dry run, please once try with your in your notebook, and if then also it is not clear, please mention in the comments, so I will try to clarify it more. Now let's move on to the code, and we will solve this question there. So let's see the code now, okay. So we will keep a count of the elements, and we will store the elements also, right? So what I will do, I will declare count element, and we will have a variable to iterate in the array. So count will be initialized by 0, element will also be initialized by 0, and I will also be initialized by 0. This I will go till length less than length, right? So I will be less than. Now what I will do, we have to assign a value to the element whenever we are having the count as 0, because the possibility is that at whatever index this count is becoming 0, maybe the value can be a like valid majority element candidate, right? So if count becomes 0 here, then we have to assign a value to element. Now we also have to check that if the value is equals to element, right, then we need to increment the count value, right? So I will increment the count value here. We have C here, right? So I will take C, and in case we don't have any value, like if they are not equal, then I will decrease the value by 1. Now this element will return us a valid candidate, right? So we can verify that, okay. So what I will do after that, I will iterate again for n in nums if n is equals element, then increase the value of C by 1. Here I will reinitialize this C value, okay. And what I will do here, if C is becoming greater than length of nums by 2, then I will simply return element. Now let's try to run the code. Okay, I will be getting a time limit exceeded error because I haven't incremented the value of I, so it will be stuck in an infinite loop. Let's run the code again. So the sample test cases are passed. Let's try to submit it. So this code has been accepted. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments. And in case you have any doubts related to any of the approaches, please let me know in the comment too, so I can make it more clear for you. And in order to continue with me in this coding journey, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you will be notified every time I post a new video. Thank you for watching.